do solemnly, happily swear.
I do solemnly, happily swear.
That I am going to tell everyone I see.
That I am going to tell everyone I see.
That bread is not poison. My name is Amy Halloran, and I am the author of the new bread basket and a flower ambassador. My husband brought home a cookie from a business trip he took. I'd always been a baker, a really big fan of just baking things, but this incredible ingredient tucked inside this cookie, good grains, great flour, made me start on this journey.
As an artisan baker, I reached a point where I started to use flours, and when I first got turned on to freshly milled flour, it was just with this little grain mill. And the first time I had that flour, I knew that things had changed, and I knew that this was different, and this was something that was big enough that I really needed to commit energy to.
I needed a differentiated product, and I needed people to think about grits differently. So we do grits differently. We do several versions. We do what we call our city grit. We do a country grit, and then we do a smoked grit.
I used to come at everything from an angle of, that vote with your fork. If you vote with your fork, the farmers will be able to do it. It really doesn't work that way.
Finally, after a while, we ran into Berea College, which is a working college, fantastic college, got a great program. And with that, they were actually growing these organic grains to teach their students, but they were feeding them to the cows. So this started the opportunity for us to start to get this mill up and running.
I get a little funky with my pizzas. I'm going to do a Thai pizza. And then the other one in celebration of a little bourbon, doing a pizza that has a sweet onion marmalade, an andouille sausage, blue cheese, and then it gets topped with rosemary and cherries that are reconstituted in bourbon. So it's something a little fun. And
Sounds like a
rice and
That sounds like a Kentucky pizza night.
it is a Kentucky pizza.
Let's pretend that I sat around drawing paper dolls all day of the things that I wanted to be real. And this place would be a paper doll that's walking around doing all the things that I dream about.
Although I would love to have one of those big, beautiful mills with the stream in the back, and those things are gorgeous. If anybody has one, I'd love to have it. But the cool part about it is that this mill allows us to mill a fair amount of grains, and in a relatively small mill, and it does a great job.
Grain farmers especially are really tied into these production systems that are very expensive and limited. To ask people to change gears and do something outside of the commodity system is a tremendous thing.
I took the approach that I wanted to impact where I could make the most benefit. And that was with small producing farms. And with a small producing farm is usually a family or a group of families that share acreage, have a limited amount of acreage, and they work the land. And not only that, they work it in a very simple way.
Asking a farmer to grow the crops that you want and saying you'll pay them the cost of production to make something different happen in corn, in wheat, that is what needs to happen for alternative grains, off-grid grains, to work again. I think places like this are so critical to people developing a new relationship to food and to each other. And now I'm here and I get to see and be and taste the food and get a sense of his connection to his community. And it's just a gift, and I'm really, really appreciative of the decision to make this happen. Now you are flower ambassadors.